Welcome back to Investment Tribe, where you've subscribed because you want to learn all about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and other digital assets. Don't forget to leave us a thumbs up and enable the notifications so you'll be alerted whenever we post a new video. For this video, we will be making the argument as to why gamers will rule the world in the future. It's very possible as we are in the middle of a big revolution right now. That's why you need to watch until the end, and maybe you will start thinking about changing careers. As we learned through history, different groups of people led the way as the global landscape changed. In the 60s, it was the engineers. In the 90s, it was the programmers and the coders who leveraged this new technology called the internet and made amazing technologies with it that we are still using today. As new technology arises, the landscape of the global economy adjusts with it. And today, one group of people might already have the advantage: the gamers. Imagine your job being so fun that it feels like you're not doing any work at all. For most of us, we long for a work environment where we can just play video games all day and still get paid for doing it. Too bad this is not the world that we live in. But lucky for us, they are looking at how some industries might be just as exciting as playing a video game. They are starting to implement video game elements into laborious and uneventful work. This process is called gamification. Gamification is a technique of applying video game elements into industries that do not relate to gaming at all. You might notice that some are in effect right now. For instance, banking apps. They're like finance games with the way they look now. More colorful, interesting rewards points, and real-time tracking. Another example is when the world-famous fast food chain McDonald's partnered up with a classic board game Monopoly, where you could collect street names by buying burgers, and if you got a Monopoly, you will get prizes. Duolingo, one of the best language learning apps, tricks users into learning a new language by making them feel that they're just playing a game. So this gamification can be seen in many places and is expected to be applied to every industry. As we can see, gamification has been a thing for quite some time now, but it's about to blow up because of 3 reasons. Number 1, because of millennials. They are the first generation who grew up with video games as we know them, as well as social media. So instant gratification and high engagement are the names of the game here. Number 2, because of the interconnectivity. 6 billion of the total population right now is assumed to have a smartphone. In some countries even, some might have better access to technology than to clean drinking water. And lastly, gaming is blowing the whole business model. Would you believe that the gaming industry is bigger than the movie and music industries combined? Well, this is because the gaming industry excels at one very important thing: engagement. The main function of games is to keep you playing games. Their very essence is designed to make you not quit, to play one more round. They're challenging, yet the rewards are so worthwhile and you can track your progress too. Managers and directors of other fields cannot sleep well at night thinking about how to engage with their clients and their employees, and if they could just only look at what the video game industry is doing ever since. Let's take a look at another example of an industry applying gamification. When the famous sports brand Nike released their running app, it included badges and progress tracker functions where runners can track their progress and earn rewards in the process. Now, it's certainly in the realm of possibility if Nike somehow tokenized those rewards, meaning they will release their very own Nike coin. Say, a runner that did 5K will be rewarded 5 Nike tokens. These tokens can be used to get discounts at a Nike store, or you can buy Air Jordan NFTs with these coins, or you can cash them out for actual money. All of this can be done if Nike wishes to. Runners would be incentivized to work out if they did this. This will probably be bigger than all of those government programs that are aimed at making America healthier. This is how Metaverse will be in the future. Engagement will be monetized to incentivize users, and the mixture of real-world and virtual-world elements will be seamless thanks to this gamification process. Tech companies and social media sites are now utilizing the potential of gamification process. The news-aggravating site Reddit is one of these companies. For those of you who don't know, Reddit has a point system called karma. Everyone who has posted good content on this site has received karma at some point. It's comparable to the likes and hearts, but karma points are well recorded for each account. Like, you don't know how many likes you have gotten with your Facebook account, right? Well, on Reddit, it's right there on your profile. Now, they are experimenting with the idea to convert those karma points into crypto tokens. The details are a bit hazy at this point, but it's interesting to see how a social media giant will do with this fake internet points in the future. Another industry that would greatly benefit from this gamification is the education sector. Imagine you can do an actual job at the metaverse. Say, a business school created its own metaverse with its own currency. Each of the students is given land, and their goal is to set up shop and make it engageable to other students. And the shop with the most profit gets the highest grade in the end. This is without a doubt more exciting than sitting on a lecture the whole semester, right? The world of finance also benefits from gamification process. People are just naturally afraid of the banks. We don't trust them and they're predatory in nature. That's why when the first online banking apps came out, they had a hard time convincing people that it is safe and reliable. But by applying gamification to their design, it worked out pretty well. Most utilized leaderboards, badges, and now they're trying to do other concepts to continue to engage with people. Actually, banks are inconsistent threat nowadays due to the concept of decentralized finance, so they will try in their power to stay in the game for as long as possible. As I said, gamers are the one who will be in charge if this revolution becomes so successful in the next few years. They have great advantage as they have been playing games since they were kids. So they are the ones who have complete knowledge on how to make games engaging, enjoyable, and rewarding to play. Do you notice that game developers do not dictate what games are good and what games are bad, but it's the community of gamers who decides? They know in the back of their head the gamification process, so they're the only ones who we can trust. They will be the voice of revolution, the modern-day engineers and coders. If I ask you 10 years ago if a business used social media to engage with their customers, then you might not be sure about your answer. But today, it seems the most obvious thing in the world, right? Of course, you need social media if you're running a business. Some are comparing this with gamification. Today, you might not be sure if gamification is essential to engage with your users. But 10 years from now, the answer might be so obvious. Well, who can say for sure? But one thing is certain. The richest people in the world believe in this gamification process. They are the ones who can make us click on things and grab our attention constantly. Again, we cannot be entirely sure if this is the path of the future, but gamers will have the best position when this gamification becomes the standard. Are you now convinced to switch careers? It's interesting that the group of people who we made fun of before and were considered nerds and losers might possibly hold the key to how the world will run in the future. They might be capable of not just changing the virtual world, but the real world too. Well, that's all for now. This is Investment Tribe. See you again tomorrow. Keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe.